Defending champion Panthers keep winning even without Tkachuk, Ekblad, and before Marchand debuts. Matthew Tkachuk has not been on the ice for the Florida Panthers since early February. Aaron Ekblad is not eligible to play again until Game 3 of the first round of the postseason. And Brad Marchand still hasn't debuted with his new team since joining at the trade deadline. Those are big holes down the stretch, and yet they keep on rolling. The Panthers won 9 of their first 14 games since the NHL season resumed after the Four Nations face-off break and remain atop the Atlantic Division with 11 left to play. Seth Jones has fit in perfectly since they acquired him from Chicago, and the defending Stanley Cup champions look primed for another playoff run. "That's the way it goes," said Sam Bennett, whose 12 points over this span are tied with captain Alexander Barkov for second most on the roster behind Sam Reinhart, 13. "You're going to be down important guys at important times of the year. In the playoffs, especially, there's going to be times that you lose guys and it's up to us to step up, and every guy's got to play a little harder, play a little bigger when we have those really important guys out of our lineup." Tkachuk, Florida's heart-and-soul top forward, was injured playing for the U.S. at the Four Nations on February 15. Ekblad, the top four defenseman in his 11th season in the league, was suspended 20 games on March 10 for performance-enhancing drugs. And the team knew Marchand would not be available right away after getting hurt March 1 in what turned out to be his final game with the Boston Bruins. Coach Paul Maurice said the 36-year-old was skating hard and could be back as soon as the end of this week, if not early April. Even without those guys, the Panthers have allowed opponents to score just 2 goals a game during this stretch, tied for the fewest in the NHL. What separates them and why I think they're the best defending team in the league is they protect the net front and the slot better than anybody in the NHL for my money, Washington Capitals coach Spencer Carberry said before his team beat Florida on Saturday. And that's partly the way that their structure is, so the system, but also the commitment to win your one-on-one matchups and protect that area is elite, elite, elite. Maurice thinks the Panthers have handled the situation really well, absent a clunker of a 3-1 defeat at Montreal. After losing to Washington, the affable coach who has been behind the bench for over 2,000 NHL games deadpanned that despite a sub-.500 road trip, we won't fold the season. Overall, he has been pleased. "We've been pretty good," Maurice said. "We've played playoff games without Bennett, without Barkov, with 2 out a number of players. We just have some experience with it." Since hiring Maurice and trading for Tkachuk in the summer of 2023, Florida has won 7 of 8 playoff series while making back-to-back trips to the final and captured the first championship in franchise history. The hope is to do more of that after getting Marchand and Jones, who has been playing big minutes, over 25 a game, in Ekblad's absence. "He's been great," forward Jonah Gadjevich said of Jones. "He's been great on the ice and off the ice. He's a great guy, obviously a great player, as well, so we're so happy to have him and his leadership around the locker room." Inside the locker room, Gadjevich said being without top players is no excuse, so he and his teammates are not treating it as such. "Obviously we're down a lot of guys right now, and I think we're looking forward to having them back whenever they come back," he said. "Whoever's in the lineup just has to do their job. We all know how to play. We all know Panther hockey and what's expected of us.